Hi. Hello, and welcome to Spooky CDO, the show that will give you a chill and creepy story of what is happening in our city. I'm your host, DJ John. In today's episode, we'll talk about the spooky place of the former City Hall of Justice with a supporting story about who encountered a mysterious incident. Be sure to listen all the way through for the details and I'll offer our listeners a special surprise at the end. Cagayan de Oro is the happiest place in the country. The city of golden friendship, as it's sometimes called, is home to especially friendly and warm Filipinos. But as we belong to the happiest place, we still encountered horrific, terrifying events in the city. The spooky site of the former Hall of Justice along Archbishop Hay Street. When we hear the place Hall of Justice, it always pops into our minds that it's abandoned. So the Benigno Aquino Hall of Justice was inaugurated in 1995. As the Hall of Justice became helpful to the public, it became rife with stories of the White Lady or strange gentleman hailing rides from the horse-drawn carriages back in olden time. Up to the time the mozzarella made an appearance in the city. If you observe closely, some people walk past when crossing this portion of Hay Street. The city's history affirms that the part of A Street beside Xavier University to the old official site of the City Hall of Justice has been the area of city's public cemetery for many generations. As the early as 1900s, that area had already been serving as the resting place for the city's dead. That area was a forest like the center of our town is like the modern day Gaston Park and Divisoria. So the early town leaders decided to make it a cemetery. The fact remains thought that some of the remains in the cemetery are still unclaimed. This could be because their families have moved out from CDO or the graves have already been forgotten. This fact remains one of the most significant sources for the countless tales of the supernatural in the area. While some people prefer to shrug these stories off, thinking that they were only made to scare people, others connect this to the fact that the land where the Hall of Justice stood is the old public cemetery of the city. On January 30, 2015, the Hall of Justice was engulfed by fire with casualties of two dead. The case was still unsolved, with a rumor that the incident was on purpose. The fire that burned down the city of Hall of Justice only elevated the creepy stories of the place. Its blackened walls, dark walls, and crumbled roof make it the perfect backdrop for a spine-tingling scary tale. There are reports that employees noticed flickering lights, the sound of shutting doors, apparitions of playing children, overhearing people talking way beyond office hours, lost and misplaced things, cold spots, old music playing out of nowhere, and mysterious crying sounds in halls known for this room. Based on my experience when I was still in junior high school, I can still remember walking from Mogs to Kupon, and the time I was nearby from that area, I would immediately walk past, maybe because that area is dark and abandoned. And I also heard some rumors about the place. They believe that some souls are not still at peace, and sometimes the spirits are showing to people. This rumor became accurate. The experience of Efren Dakanay, the security personnel who was making his inspection rounds at Cagayan de Oro's Hall of Justice during his graveyard shift. From the statement of Mr. Dakanay, it was around 10 p.m. He was with two other companions strolling around the area's ground with their flashlight. They inspect the different areas in the Hall of Justice grounds individually. They try to keep the area clear for maybe teenagers or tambays. At that time, the Kanay served as one of the guards for the Hall of Justice for over 5 months. Stories of supernatural occurrences from other employees no longer bothered him. He hasn't believed in ghosts since not until his first supernatural encounter at the Hall of Justice. As he paced to his assigned area, the Kanai noticed that one of the first floor office room light was turned on. He found it weird because at the time, offices should already be closed and employees had gone home hours ago. Thinking that someone had just left the lights on, the Kanai walked closer to the room to inspect it. He said, I was certain the area was clear in our last inspection hours ago, and no one was in any of the offices. It was just us, the security guards. If I were the Kanai, I would prefer to stay where my colleague is or to stay in our guard post. The Kanai didn't have access to the room's door, so he looked over the window. However, halfway to it, he was surprised that the room's lights suddenly turned off. At that very moment, the Kanai was already scared. His heart was pounding as he slowly continued to walk to the window. When he was almost near, the Kanai was so sure that he heard the sound of someone's typing in computers, the selling fan, and the closing of cabinet drawers. Even though scared, still thought of the possibility of thieves. So he found the courage to peek through the curtained window. He believed what he heard and saw nothing. When he had looked at the room, he could only describe it as empty. It did not rot, and there was no reason why he could have distinctly heard those sounds. He felt his hands were cold and did not mind finishing the inspection and running immediately to the guard post. When he reached it, his leg shook so hard that he couldn't understand his feelings. His body was hot from the number of horror stories heard about the Hall of Justice. Some say that the building is haunted by spirits of those who died in the fire. Others believe that the area is inhabited by the ghosts of those buried in the cemetery, while others attribute strange occurrences to the supernatural. Whatever the truth, it's clear that the Hall of Justice has mysterious and dark history that adds to its already eerie atmosphere. Except with Mr. Dekanai, many also have undeniable experience and goosebumps from the former Hall of Justice. Unfortunately, we have a time limit. We could continue this episode next week. Please subscribe to this podcast, be updated, and continue listening to my weekly spooky and terrifying events in the city. I hope you learned something from today's episode as we dig a scary story for you.